is Lynn, and I am the chair of the PyLadies Global Council. I've been involved with PyLadies for over 10 years. I started the PyLadies of San Francisco chapter in 2012. I've also helped other chapters start their own. I owe a great deal of where I am today to PyLadies. It has helped me grow into the programmer and leader that I am today. It is where I started to learn how to code, and is how I got my first and second/current job as an engineer. But I want to back up a little bit. If you're new to PyLadies, or been too scared to ask, you might be wondering, what is PyLadies? Well, I got a spiel. PyLadies is a mentorship group for women and friends in the Python community looking to improve its diversity. We try to do this through outreach, with meetup groups, with Python conference events, with social gatherings. But it's weird for me to say we. It sounds like we're some big, proper, centralized organization. But we're not. And that's the beauty of PyLadies. It's all grassroots. You want to start your own chapter? Great. Here's the documentation. Need some money to host your first event? We got you. Let me point you to the grant process with our fiscal sponsor, the Python Software Foundation. Want help spreading the word? Let's get a blog post up on the PyLadies website and cross-post on our social media. So we're trying to improve the diversity in the Python community. And how have we been doing? Has the community changed at all? Well, I have to say that PyLadies had a great foundation to start with. The creator of the Python language, Guido van Rossum, has always been a supporter of diversity in technology. He regularly and publicly talks about the need to improve the diversity in the community that he, in fact, started. He was a regular speaker at the PyLadies SF meetups that I used to organize, and I'd often see him at conferences, particularly the days on which he'd be speaking, wearing his favorite t-shirt, Python is for Girls. Guido takes his influence and level of impact seriously, and has used it to start conversations and create a welcoming environment for all types of people. PyLadies first started in Los Angeles and California in 2011. It was just a few female Python developers getting together. They once said, "Wouldn't it be nice if we do this more often?" Since then, we have grown so much, and due to its grassroots nature, it's been steady, sustainable growth. On the flip side, because we're all volunteers, and because PyLadies is very decentralized, we don't really have a full picture of where we're all located. But that's okay. We do have some picture. Over the last decade, we have seen over 300 chapters being started. Of those chapters, I could find at least 70 on meetup.com. And of those 70, they make up about 60,000 members. It was actually quite fun to dig into the numbers. I kind of nerd-sniped myself while making this talk. I'm not a statistician, but I do like to play one on TV. Using the Meetup API, and Python, of course, I was able to pull some interesting numbers. Let's start with PyLadies of Taiwan. The local Python community started probably around 2013. However, when PyLadies started in 2014, the local community took off. Now, if we look at Vienna, the Python user groups probably started around 2010. Then in 2013, PyLadies started, and we can see a lot of growth in new joiners with the local Python user groups after that. Now, if we move north a little bit with Hamburg, we can see that the Python user group started around 2013, and then 5 years later, PyLadies started, and you can see another huge growth. Now in Peru, in Lima, not much of a Python community has been started until PyLadies came around. And the same with Nigeria. The whole community itself is PyLadies. Now, take a look at this. This is our membership growth for all the chapters on Meetup over time. Look at all those colors. We can see that PyLadies is in almost every corner of the world. We've seen huge amounts of growth in Brazil and in Africa. We are literally everywhere. Well, almost, except for Antarctica. I know that Python's used down there, so give me a holler if you want to start a chapter down there. I want to commend those who have started chapters in more remote areas. I'm sure that wasn't easy. Not everyone is that lucky or has the energy or capability or means to start a chapter, but that doesn't dissuade folks from joining PyLadies. No, we have quite the active online community as well. And as it happens, Slack is another app that provides a lot of statistics. I mean, just look at our weekly active numbers. Sure, we did get a bit of a dip during COVID, and what community didn't? But we're constantly in the 400 to 500 range, and that's nothing to sneeze at. Now, if you're not there, definitely join us. We're a low-key but supportive group. It's always willing to geek out about Python, or help out in learning the language, or maybe talk about knitting or something. And there are plenty of local channels too. And it's where I first hear about calls for proposals for various Python conferences. So I don't want you to miss out. So this was just me playing around with the data that I was able to get. And yes, I'm sure a lot can be attributed to Python's growth overall. But I firmly believe that we have had a hand in growing Python for the better. So if you're curious to dig into the data, I'll be posting it on GitHub. Overall, I'd say we're off to a great start. We're growing, we're affecting change, we're leveling each other up, and we're getting conversations started. But we can't lose our momentum. I encourage everyone to get involved in PyLadies in any way that they can. We welcome all sorts of contributions, and we appreciate our donors and sponsors greatly. And a huge thank you to our fiscal sponsor, the Python Software Foundation, who make it possible for us to do great things, to reach far to help women attend the largest Python conference in the US, to help bootstrap chapters, and to accept charitable donations. But in my years with PyLadies, I found that the most impactful contribution is people's time and empathy. It takes a lot to run a chapter. And so, for the organizers out there, I thank you so very much. The reason that PyLadies has been a successful, decentralized, grassroots organization is solely because of those who have stepped up and said, well, I want to hang out with women in Python too. Whether you're an organizer or not, if you have a bit of capacity, it doesn't take much to help us out. If you're not an organizer, maybe you want to help host an event. Maybe you have a talk accepted at a conference and you'd like to practice that talk. That practice doesn't just help you. It helps organizers with planning events, it helps attendees learn something new, and inspires others to dare to give a talk themselves. Maybe you're an artist as well as a PyLady. I bet you make some awesome stuff. And maybe you'd be willing to donate something to the next PyLadies auction at PyCon. This will help us with raising funds to get women to attend PyCon for those that need financial assistance. Or maybe you can help answer beginner questions in our Slack organization. Every little bit helps our community. Speaking of helping out our community, here we are at the inaugural PyLadies conference, the brainchild of Denny Perez. This is something that couldn't have happened without many volunteers putting in countless hours over the months. I am so excited to be a part of this community, to see it grow so much that we must have a space for us to all meet. I feel like this is the pinnacle of success for any community like ours. How lucky am I to be a part of it? And with that, I want to wish you all a great conference. I hope you meet some fantastic people. I wish the speakers good luck. And be sure to thank all the volunteers for their hard work. Thank you! Oh, and if you ever want to talk Python with me, just find me on Slack.